This week we will continue our journey through the explore stage of the activity process. So far, we have learned the importance of clarifying the problem as the first important step when dealing with a challenge. We have practiced how to gather and organize information to acquire knowledge on the topic at hand to focus the objective. We are now ready to move on to the convergent step of explore, where, starting from the insights gathered from the previous clarify goal step, we will define the specific challenge, providing a range of new design opportunities. The second step of explore is called define opportunity, whose aim is to transform all the collected information into a meaningful and actionable goal statement that represents the design opportunity. This opportunity represents the promising goal grown from the insights and needs of the people analyzed that will guide you through the consequent generate phase. You must understand that insights are not often casual. Instead, they emerge from a process of synthesizing information to discover connections and patterns. During this step, it is fundamental to make sense of all the possibilities identified, developing a clear creative brief that frames the fundamental design challenge. Defining and selecting a novel direction for our challenge takes time and reflection. This practice trains people's intuition and awareness and uses tools that prompt new avenues of consideration and give shape to the project scope, providing relevant and viable opportunities. It is crucial to use imagination and lateral thinking abilities when deeply studying the gathered data. This will help you to intersect the information in obvious ways, to unlock the situation, to reach an understanding of the gaps, relationships, and unmet needs. Define opportunity represents the convergent step of explore, where it is fundamental to adopt a visionary thinking style. This thinking style supports you in articulating a vivid image of what one desires to create. To define opportunities with the visionary mindset, you have to follow some fundamental key points. Giving sense to data. To analyze, cluster, and interpret the gathered widespread information, it is important to go beyond an impersonal analysis of the material, interpreting data with an open attitude. It is your opportunity to define the challenge you are considering based on what you have learned about your user and about the context. It's very helpful to use images, photographs, and keywords to graphically visualize the information analyzed, to easily create and identify mental pathways and unexpected connections. Within this activity, you have to define criteria and requirements needed to reach the goal. Create hypotheses. This is the moment to recompose the information in many and unconventional ways to create hypotheses and stories for possible design alternatives, allowing for ambiguity and multiple interpretations. Opportunities hinge upon a consistent basis of research. Through different approaches, research can reveal valuable information, providing potential opportunities, moments of illuminations in ways that are unexpected at times. This is an extremely creative moment, and it is a good practice to take some time off for incubation and let our unconscious mind process different views. Write a goal statement. Only promising aspects of the goal should be investigated and restated as questions to be addressed during the creative phase. A good opportunity is defined by assessing its context and also by identifying its potential user and target market. These elements will help you to properly frame the challenge, taking into consideration all the necessary ingredients. The goal statement will become the starting point of the next generate stage. These were three fundamental key points of Define Opportunity. The Explore goal has been reached and our initial problem has been reframed and focused. Let's start Define Your Design Challenge. To help you go through this step and get great results, here are some expert tips that we have collected for you. 1. When you are focusing on the goal, it can be helpful to formulate engaging questions such as how can we and what would happen if. Remember to dig deeper into your issue by continuously asking yourself why. This creates a chain of thought that leads to a simplified, clear and focused objective. 2. A good goal should be expressed in 1 or 2 sentences at most. It is important to rewrite the phrase describing the objective again and again until its meaning and potential is fully recognized by others. 3. Write the goal in a way that does not entail a direct answer. The goal should allow enough space for the identification of secondary aspects and unexpected values and at the same time should limit the scope enough to make it manageable. 4. Write down your thoughts and considerations on the challenge that is being outlined, always starting from a broad perspective and gradually moving into more and more detail. It is also effective to keep visual memorandums, such as old sketches, photographs, as reminders of the mental connection made throughout the evolution of the Clarify Goal process. 5. Have fun! Even when things get serious, it is important to always remember to laugh and celebrate results, both big and small. Each small step forward is still a step forward. Within Define Opportunity, you can use a number of methods, tools and techniques to guide you through the key points of this phase and that mostly aim at visualizing information and finding problems and opportunities. In the Activity Toolkit, we have selected some methods and tools to help professionals and teams go through this step. A well-known method is Personas. Others are simple and trigger creativity, such as Image Telling and Story Challenge, while others are more advanced, such as Scenarios and Cross. To become familiar with this phase, as with all new things, you need to practice it. Therefore, this week is entirely dedicated to get your hands dirty and try to put in practice the fundamental key points of Define Opportunities. Use the tools that we have selected for you and empower your convergent and visionary thinking abilities. If you want to learn more about, explore and define opportunity and compare it with other design thinking models, take a look at the resources that we have selected for you.